Hello people, I am Sky Demolisher and welcome back for another From the Collection Fridays, a series where I take things from my collection and show it to you, my viewers. And this week it is my Diamond Select Avatar The Last Airbender Katara action figure. So this is from like the 6-inch line. Currently on clearance at Mighty Ape, so I paid I think $15 for it. Very good price. Now this isn't the first Diamond Select figure that I have bought. It is the first of the Avatar one, so it has a bit better articulation and stuff than the earlier Diamond Select stuff that I have, which of course was like Wolverine and Sabretooth. But it still does have that unfortunate very tight joint issues. So yeah, there was a lot of sort of snapping noises as you sort of gently manipulate them. The way that I have her posed at the moment, for some reason on the viewfinder it actually looks like it's quite good. In person it's very, very difficult to get the effect to actually balance and for the figure to balance. You do get a stand and the the water effect with the figure. You don't need to add them on, they're all together. You do get a spare set of hands in the box as well, which are basically kind of similar poses. There's no like clenched fist ones or anything. So yeah, so you can see, like, she is very nicely sculpted. She very much does look like her character from the show, which I think was based on season 3. So you can see that she's got like the little, I think it was like a little pouch thing that she wore around her back. It's been so many years since I last saw the show. And that has like the water in it. Like, it's probably a bit difficult to see, but see there's a nice clear plastic arm. Now the joint parts of it are fairly tight. In some cases tight enough that you might fear that you're going to break them. But they're all like separate little swivel ball joints. So the tubes that they go into can sometimes get a little bit loose and then they can spin on themselves. The water effect itself has a little hole, so this is the effect. It's like a bendy sort of, I don't want to say rubber, but it is kind of that kind of feel. And there is like colour differentiation in it. It's not all solid like blue. It's actually got quite a nice water effect and like ripples and all of that. Probably a bit difficult to see. Stand itself is just a clear one, single foot peg, and the figure. And so you've got articulation at the head. You might be able to hear that it's quite tight there. There's a little bit of up and down, but not very much. There's the full 360 for the arms, soft rubber at the back here for the knot, so that's okay. Only a single face, so there is articulation at the elbow, but it's somewhat limited by her sleeve. There is articulation at the hands, so they do move like up and down, and they do spin, but again they're tight in this and it's not a particularly large joint, so you might run the risk of breaking it. There is sort of a butterfly in and out for her shoulder too, so you do get somewhat okay poses out of her. You can see that there is actually a hole in her back as well, so if you want her like in the ear and the water is in front of her or something, or maybe doing something a little different with the stand, I think you've got the opportunity to do it, but it is pretty much one hole for the stand thing, and then one little peg hole for the foot. You can see that there's a double knee there, so she does have lovely articulation for the knee. The feet, extremely tight. So you might remember from, I think it was the Alphonse Elric, you know, it's got a foot with like a pin that goes directly that way into it. Same kind of pin for this. So you have to be so very careful with these, because too much pressure and you're going to snap it. There is a little bit of like swivel to the foot, so you can see what I mean. Like, very, very good for posing and stuff, but because it's, you know, slotted in that way into the foot, you run the risk of it snapping. And yeah, I kind of wish that they had it a slightly different way. I don't think there's any articulation in the toes. Yeah, unfortunately it's not soft goods, it's a hard rubber, or like rubbery plastic. So you can get her to do the splits to about that degree. It does sort of show you that there's a swivel in the leg up here. I don't know how well that line is showing through, but like right there underneath my thumbnail. And then there's like bendable joint there, so you can get her somewhat to do a Van Damme, but I wouldn't push it too much. That's probably a horrible way of showing it, but that's the best way to show those bloody joints. She does have waist articulation as well, but again, very, very tight. So you're going to have to either heat her up or be very, very careful when you're actually, you know, initially getting her out, and starting to work those joints so that they don't snap. Now I think also because of the tightness of those joints, it's one of the reasons why the balancing for the figure isn't so good. I've not been able to get her to stand off the base, and the base only has the single upward peg for her foot, so you have to be careful. That's probably the best way of putting it. Now the water effect only has, as far as I'm aware, only the one hole, so it's back here, it goes through it, but it doesn't come out the other side. It only goes sort of, I think it's actually about halfway in, but you can't, like, I think you can see it there. But I think that because of how this is moulded, it gives an optical illusion that it's going further back than what it actually is, and it's not. So I'm pretty sure you can chuck her. Yeah, there is like a small pinhole there. I don't know if this particular one works, but like you can get it in there. You can see what I mean. So like they'll come off these little plastic parts. I dropped the stand onto the floor. It's unfortunate. I don't think I snapped it though, so you know, there's at least that. So you can, not that this is a particularly good way of showing it, but you know, you should be able to get like poses through the back and stuff. You might need to rework on how that's actually going to go, but Jesus, this is just sort of flying to pieces. You can sort of see what I mean, and given that it's a clear plastic, it's probably not the best idea to do this sort of thing, but you can get it in the air on that stand if you would. So if I put my hand behind it, you can see how it goes up. All around, very cool figure. I can't remember what the original price on these were, but there are a few on Mighty Ape, and I sort of hope to get some of the others. But yeah, like I said, she can be very difficult to pose. I'm assuming that the others are going to be like that. If I take her off though, and I'll just show you on the back there. So there is Aang or Ang, Katara and Zuko, which are all the series 1, and then Azula and Ang with the glider. So you might remember ages ago I did a video on one that has a glider. That is not from this series. I'm pretty sure that was McFarlane, and that's a smaller figure than what this is. So you can't mix and match the two, although in theory you could probably still use that glider. It's just not the glider that's made for him. So I'm sort of hoping to be able to get these two, although I don't entirely think they've got this full wave left anymore. I know that they've got like Aang, Zuko and what's his name? The brother. I'm blanking on his name at the moment. But Katara's brother is also a figure that they've currently got at like $15. I think Azula is around 45, maybe 40ish. And I can't remember if she's actually reduced in price at the moment or if she's still full price. So, yeah. I'll leave a link down to the Katara one with this video. So if you're interested in picking her up and they've still got them in stock, you'll be able to do that. So I hope that you have enjoyed this, and until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.